Now, you mentioned FBA a couple times.
Yeah.
This is a term that I think I first heard about this term maybe 2 years ago. Do you have a book or an ebook about?
Yeah, I got a book. Yeah, I got a book. Well, I got a book really talking about my experiences. It's called Foundational Black American Race Beta.
Yeah. Talk about this term. Where did it come from and what inspired that book?
The term Foundational Black American, I really got that term from Claude Anderson. I'm a big student of Claude Anderson, and I would chop it up with him, not just in my movies, but I would have him on my podcast, and he would talk about how unique Native Black Americans are. He would use the term Native Black Americans, and he would talk about how unique we are as far as our lineage. We are a unique group, which is true. And I started using the term Native Black American, but sometimes that term would confuse people because they thought, well, do you mean a Cherokee who's mixed with black? Do you mean a Choctaw who's mixed with black? So that term would be somewhat confusing. So I said, let's do another term. Let's tighten that term up so that there won't be any confusion. So foundational instead of native, because black people, we are the founders of this nation, meaning we're the foundation. We built this nation from scratch. So white people couldn't even say that they did that. But
you changed that term?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I came up with the term foundational Black American based on Native Black American from Claude Anderson.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
It's been taken off. You know, I go on Clubhouse and there's these really interesting debates between foundational Black Americans and Black immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean, and it gets a little nasty sometimes.
It does get nasty, yeah.
And it's sometimes a little offensive. Me being that I have roots, my roots are in the Caribbean, but my roots also go to slavery. In fact, I could trace my roots to the actual name of the slave that is a descendant on my dad's side, named Julian Alonso, who was a runaway slave from an island called Curacao. Not too many people can name the person in their family who was that slave. So I feel like my history and my background is very similar to foundational Black Americans, but there's this divide now. And I think maybe the divide, some people saying the divide is becoming more severe because of you.
No, well, that's a cop-out because that's a projection. Let's be very clear. The divide has always come from the immigrant class. Always. We have been the only ones welcoming them in as brothers and sisters and saying, hey, you black like me, we all black. The minute many of people from the immigrant class, they do something constructive, they go out of their way to distance themselves from us. So if they go get a PhD, well, I'm a Nigerian American, man. I'm the first Nigerian American with a PhD. All right, I mean, good for you, brother. If they win a track meet or whatever, oh, they're the first Ghanaian American, they go out of their way. This woman who's the spokesperson at the White House, they made a big deal about it. Well, she's the first Haitian American. She's Haitian. She's a Haitian American. They go out of their way when it's constructive. When a motherfucker rob a liquor store and he's Haitian or he's black, if somebody go rapes 18 women, oh, he's Nigerian, but he's black. He's black.
So whose fault is that, though? It's not.
That's theirs and the white people too. That's theirs and the white people too.
I would say it's white media.
Yeah, and them. They do that shit too.
Well, they do it when it's to affirm some success.
Yeah. No, but you black when you want to dump your trash on us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want nobody's fucking trash. I don't want nobody's trash. If we're gonna be different when it's positive, be different when it's negative. Don't just be black when it's negative, and then we get the stigma for it. In New York right now, there's a lot of crimes against Asian people. The people just running up, hitting Asian people in the head in New York for no reason. We did the research. Many of these people are immigrants. These are not FBAs doing that. We look at the background of these people. We're seeing a lot of these people are not even FBA. But we get the stigma. So when the stop and frisk comes, I'm getting hemmed up because of what this motherfucker just did. We're saying enough is enough. If we're going to be all one group, let's be all one group. Since you're making it clear that we're different, we're going to be different all across the board. And we have a different, unique lineage, and that's okay. We celebrate everybody's unique lineage. They just had West Indian Day Parade out there in New York. Wonderful thing, celebrate that. Nobody has a problem when everybody else wants to celebrate their lineage. We have a lineage. We have a unique lineage here as Foundational Black Americans. We want to celebrate and acknowledge that. That's not divisive. That's what everybody else is doing.
So what is the solution? Because there's no way.
There's not a problem for there to be a solution. See, that's not a problem. Us acknowledging our lineage is not a problem. You don't need a solution for a problem that doesn't exist. Everybody should just say, hey, look, we celebrate your uniqueness as a foundational Black American. The problem is when we do something constructive, instead of giving us credit for it, other people want to start getting credit for it, and that's the problem.